Hello, class, and welcome to week 5 of Composition 2. We are moving along. We had some good discussion about our topics and our readings of the Kolowich essay from last week. We're continuing on evaluating things, learning to reason and see how research and argument all go together. We'll be looking at the essay this week by Charles Murray called Are Too Many People Going to College? It's a different kind of argument because I'm sure all you've heard is everyone needs to go to college. You got to go to college. You are college students. And here's a guy saying, no, probably I don't know what the best way to put it, but we've overstocked or over filled our colleges and put too much emphasis on it. The idea being that college is meant for so many or a specific kind of students and for specific types of careers, but instead college has become this de facto qualification for most jobs, a bachelor's degree, when it's not even needed, but because employers can require it as a way of weeding people out, they do so. So it's an interesting discussion. I don't know if Murray's exactly right. He's a bit of an elitist. So keep that in mind as you read it, but it'll be an interesting thing for you to look at. I will be responding to discussion 8 to help you narrow your topics in the discussion board. And then we are also reading about support from the Critical Thinking Handbook. That link will be below. And then finally, we're working on a draft of our book review. So it's a draft. It's not supposed to be perfect. I just really am asking you to think about what it is you're trying to say. We've had some pre-writing from week 4 with the journal entry and from the discussion boards to help us think about it a little bit more. We'll have the video here, link to the Critical Thinking Handbook, link to Are Too Many People Going to College? You'll see that is right here. It's from September 2008. It is 11 pages, so it's fairly long, so make sure you give yourself some time to read through it. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's always important to study who the author is, so read a little bit about him. He is not without controversy, but read his ideas, read about him, put everything in context. Discussion board is right here, due Sunday night, 6 questions. Some of it's detailing with some of the things that he mentions in the essay. I'm really asking for you to think about what he's doing. And then I have a fun link to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is a government website, and I'm trying to get up to it. All right. It's the Occupation Outlook Handbook. And this has pretty much every single career that is out there. You can look at by growth, newest jobs, degree fields, but also occupation. So if you're interested in, let's just go to the highest paid. Let's see what we got. All right, so maybe we're interested in anesthesiology. The wage is equal to greater than 208,000 per year. I'm in the wrong career, but you click on it, make this a little bit bigger, and it's going to talk about it. You need a doctorate or professional degree, a lot of money, internship and residency, but it has slow growth rate. Employment change over the next 10 years is 24,000, 25,000. Talks about how you can get into it, the work environment, and lots of information, state and area data where it's growing. So that's important stuff as well. So you just kind of click around through a lot of stuff for the projections of where it's growing. And you can eventually, you got to take a lot of links, unfortunately, but it's a good tool to look at if you're curious about what it is you're going to do with your degree, or if you don't know what you're going to do with your degree, you can look for jobs. So it's a great tool. So go ahead and look at that. Then we have discussion 13, which is talking about a book review. This again is helping you formulate what you want to write. So please go through this and take a look at that. And then finally, last 2 items, we have the summary for the Murray essay, 250-word summary. Just put it in by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday night. It will be February 20th. And then the book review folder. This is where you'll go to submit your draft. Click on this link. You'll see a description of the assignment. Don't take all this stuff too too much to heart, but this is the main idea. There are some links to how to write book reviews, so take a look at these. The University of North Carolina Writing Center is pretty good, and this is decent. I remember one time a link not working. So hopefully that link will work. I know this one will. Then I have a few samples. This is going over Kelsey Timmerman's book, Where Am I Wearing?, which we've read for this class. Look at these examples. Remember, these are not templates, so don't necessarily try to take phrases or commentary. So you might see something like, let me see. Sometimes I see students take phrases, like they might just take this and say, though George Takei's personal history of his time in the internment camps, or through it, he wrote the essay or his book, They Called Us Enemy. And it's kind of just this template. He does this and does that. So don't copy some of these phrasings. This one, I think, is a decent one. But when you read enough of these reviews, you start to see where people are drawing on examples to write their essay as opposed to write their own thoughts. So anyway, I hope that's clear. So look at these samples. That might give you an idea. I didn't include the grades with any of these, so it's kind of up to you to decide which ones are good and which ones aren't, and say, well, what do I like about this one? So you can look at these reviews. Again, this is a draft, so you're just kind of getting your ideas down. We will be using the Turnitin peer mark tool, and there are generally about 8 questions. So what you'll do is, once we've submitted our drafts using this tool right here, you take that link, submit it, you'll have a link that will become open to the peer mark, and there's some tutorials on how to use it. And what will happen is that you will see the student's paper, just like this is, and I want you to write some comments inside, and then also there'll be some questions that you'll have to ask or answer. So you'll do that, but I definitely want some good feedback. You'll be looking at 3 of your classmates' essays over the course of 2 weeks. Just really quick to put us in a better perspective of the course schedule, and make sure you are looking at this. We are in week 5. The book review is not due until week 8. So we have a lot of time for that. It'll give us time to do the workshop, but we do have our editorial analysis coming out. So I will provide some information on that in week 6, but we are also still working on our topics, and the editorial analysis will help us figure out kind of where we stand on our topic. And that's what I like about this paper, is that it forces you to decide. So I think that'll be a useful assignment. And then after spring break, we're really cranking on the project. We have a proposal and annotated bibliography due the Sunday after spring break, draft of the project or the argument, and then a draft of the call to action. Then we do our presentation. So we're kind of really moving quickly. And I'll make sure we get more guidance in the next couple of weeks on these, but always feel free to ask me questions, and keep thinking about your topics and keep doing research. So that is where we are for week 5. I hope you're doing well. Always reach out to me questions. A lot of you are doing that, and that's great. Keep it up. Otherwise, I will see you next week.